Welcome back. In our earlier video, I showed you how to do authentication and authorization by page level and by directory level. What happens if you want to show a different view of the application or a page based on their roles? So for instance, if you have a role or don't have a role, you want to show information to one user or another. You want to give somebody access to a button that has admin but not access to the same control who doesn't have admin. How do you do that? We have to give the page to the user. If the user doesn't have the page, neither of them can see it. So what we do is we make sure the user is authenticated and then turn off controls or turn on controls based on role. So again, nothing's going to change as far as how we did the web config and set them to the login form for unauthenticated users. What I'm going to do is I have a page out here called test roles. I'm going to set it as a startup page. I've got two controls under test roles, two labels. One's called label admin, one's called label non-admin. The admin text says admin can see this, the non-admin text says non-admin can see this. So I've got two little labels down here. Admin can see this, non-admin can see this. So if I sign on as an authenticated user and I am admin, I want to see this label. If I sign on and I don't have admin, I want to see that label. Let's go to the code behind. Just a couple of lines of code. In the page load directive, I have roles.isUserInRole admin. Now, you notice I didn't give a user ID. It understands that it's the user ID that's currently logged in. So when I'm sitting on this line of code, I'm already authenticated. I'm already whoever I'm signed in as. This method is overloaded. I could pass in a user, but there's no point to it because I want to know the role for the user is logged in. So roles is user enroll admin. If he does have admin, make that visible as true. Otherwise, make that visible as true. I already made it visible false, so I'm just turning it on if they have or don't have the admin role. Let's stop our application. I was in testing already. I'll start. When this starts, it should throw me to the login screen. Okay, I'm not logged in. It should throw me to the login screen. Let's go back again to the back end. I'm going to turn myself off of the admin role if I'm not already. This may fail because I think I already turned myself off. No, okay. So I don't have a remove users from role. I don't have the admin role. So Chase Utley signs on. Give a login. I get non-admin can see this. I am not an admin. I want to be able to see that. I don't see the other control. Let's go back into the back end. I'm going to add myself to that role. I'm added to the role. Now I'm just going to refresh. So when I refresh, it's going to run that page load method again, and it should flip me. Admin can see this. Excellent. So I'm either going to show or not show controls based on the role, and I'm doing it in the page methods in the code behind and not in the web config. I have to do it in the code behind. I can either do it now. This is where it gets a little tricky. I could do it in the code behind. I also can handle it here in the visible tag. So instead of saying visible true or false, there's a way to do it where I can say I can use the is in role and have that evaluate the true or false in the ASP. 6 in one, half dozen in the other. There's no benefit to do it in one place or the other. Remember, when these two things are compiled, they're compiled as two partial classes in the one class. So there's no real difference in which way you do it. I take that back. There may be a difference. The ASP page is editable. Okay, that's just a different story. You don't want to do it in the ASP page. I'd rather do it in the code behind. So extrapolate this into every different scenario. In other words, can I hide or remove panels based on a role? Yes. Can I hide or remove buttons or make buttons disabled or enabled based on a role? Absolutely. Can I nest multiple roles? Can I have two roles? In other words, let's say I have role 1, 2, and 3. You want 1 and 2 to see this and 3 to see this. That's depending on how you form your if and switch cases, if you do it like that. Excellent. It was a short video. Thank you very much.